Welcome, everybody, to Fasting is Life, and I welcome you to another wonderful show. I wanted to make a quick show concerning this topic: how to listen to advice and learn to keep silence. I wanted to talk on this topic because I was inspired from an incident and I felt compelled to make a message for anyone out there who's going to hear it. Maybe it might help you. Let me show you this picture. See, in this picture, it shows you two people interacting. So I'll use the imagery and kind of give you a little advice that I'm learning. This concerns about advice. Let's say you have a problem and you're looking for a solution, and you go to someone whom you expect or assume may have a solution for you because you don't know. You've hit a wall where you can go further and you're trying to find a way out. And what tends to happen is many people who go seek for advice or solution that they couldn't figure it out themselves, instead of being patient and humble enough to keep silence, to listen to what a person will say, they'll fight them, they'll resist them, they'll be contradicting, meaning whatever the person will say, they will try to give an excuse and be like, well, what about this? If you were looking for a solution that you couldn't figure out before, and you go to an expert, somebody who knows and he's telling you something, shouldn't you have the common courtesy to actually keep silence and actually listen to what they have to say and take what they say and try it and see if it will work? Why do people always fight whom they're seeking knowledge from? I never understand that. And listening is an art, right? Because when you listen, you don't speak. You can't listen and speak at the same time. It doesn't work. That's not how we as people are. When you speak, it's hard to listen. Why? Because the most powerful voice you'll be hearing is yourself. So I'm making just a quick video to kind of, just recommend to you guys that sometimes, even if the advice is not sound, that you don't agree, that you have in your mind like, I don't think I'll utilize. Just listen. Just stick to that. You know what? You may not understand what it's saying at that moment in time because you might be under pressure, anxiety, frustration. But when you take time to actually sit down and actually ponder on what you listen to, you may figure out the solution to your problem. It's that easy. Sometimes it's best to shut the hell up and just listen. We don't always have to speak. Sometimes we just listen. And if you doubt the power of listening, you can be one of the most dangerous man or woman out there by you just developing this skill. What do you think spies are made of? You can be a spy if you always yapping your mouth. A spy listens. That's the number one skill. How can they convey a correct message to their boss if they didn't get the right message? They didn't pay attention. So they have to learn the art of listening. And not only that, listen, ponder on the message, figure out what is if the information they heard is correct. Then they can they don't just listen and okay, I'm no. They have to process the information, then sent a message. Let me show you another imagery. You don't want to be like this. Someone giving you advice, they know better than you. Why would you why did you go to them the first place if you're gonna act like this? You don't want to listen. You want to speak. Wait a minute. Why if you know what to say and you know what to do, why are you asking me for knowledge? Go seek it yourself, right? He's a military drill sergeant yelling. So same thing in the military. This whole process of training, they're training you to listen to command. I remember when I never been in the military, but I remember when I was in junior RTC, they'll take us and show us how we'll get like seminars where the military they teach us the process of boot camp and all that. They say the main reason they do to yelling and everything, they want to train you listening skills, right? So in the military, for an example, a higher officer, someone who like it's about chain of command. Let's say a master sergeant tells you, drop on the ground, give me 10 push-ups. And a lieutenant come in and say, you know what, get up. Who you gonna listen to? The master sergeant or the lieutenant? But here's the catch. If you didn't hear or pay attention or listen to the command, you may make a mistake. So I'll use that as an example. Here's another image. One person is speaking, the other is listening. Listening is an art. But how can you listen when both of you are doing the same thing? Hold on, let me show you another picture. You know, what I'm doing is I'm using the analogy, but this is a perfect picture. We don't know what's going on between them, but based on the message, by the body language of this man, he's quiet. You don't see his mouth moving. And then you can see this lady right here. You can see to her emotion, she's in the process of speaking. He is using his listening skill, and she is using her speaking skill. You can't do both at the same time. And now what happens is if the roles are reversed, she will need to be quiet so she can hear his reply. But if they're both speaking at the same time, trying to interrupt each other, how can they hear? So, my send off message is this, guys. Learn to listen and not fight back because what's the point of going to somebody asking them for help if you couldn't figure out yourself and then disrespect them when they actually offer you the service to argue with them? You wouldn't want that to be done to you, would you? Learn the art of listening to advice and the art of silence. This will do you wonder. Imagine at work you always fighting your boss's order. You think you're gonna keep your job? Sometimes it's best to listen, even if you don't agree with it. Then once you listen and you process, then you can either retaliate, ask a question, further question, be like, okay, you know what? I'll think about this. Thanks for the advice. Sometimes it's just best to listen and move on. If you're gonna throw away the advice, throw it away. But you know what? At that moment in time, for as common courtesy, because you ask for it, your job is to listen. If you didn't want to listen to it, why did you ask in the first place? So there you have it, guys. I appreciate everybody who subscribe to my channel. Subscribe of both my channel, my Fasting is Live and Fasting is Live channel. Both channels link will be in the description once I upload this video. And again, I appreciate you guys. My channel is slowly growing, and I hope the message that I have for you resonate. And I thank you very much for stopping by, and stay tuned for more videos. And hopefully this advice has touched your heart. Apply it and see the result, and come back and give me some feedback. All right. Bless you. Y'all have a great day.